Hello, everyone. I am very happy to welcome you to the last episode that we're going to have for this stage. Then we're going to launch some more, but this is it for now. So, what are the were the objectives of this steel capacity building? We had understanding our core as Isaac, understanding our role as team leader, getting the knowledge and the skills to be the best team leader, and to become experts in team management. So, for the last episode of this stage, we're going to have the global learning environments. So, what are the global learning environments? As we saw in the sixth episode, we in Isaac are developing leadership through the leadership development model that is empowering others, solution-oriented, world citizen, and self-aware. But how are we actually delivering this? We're delivering it through lead sessions to our members. Okay? But then, I told you guys in that episode that we need to choose the correct environment to deliver these sessions. So we're going to check right now what are the different options that we have. So the global learning environments are six. We have self-reflection, team experience, learning circles, conferences and seminars, one-to-ones, and virtual spaces. These are the different options that we have to choose what is the environment, what is the context in which we're going to develop each one of the leadership development qualities in our members or provide any other type of education. So we're going to go one by one and we're going to understand what they are, when to do it, and how it is done, through what. Perfect? So in the case of self-reflection, what it is a self-reflection and introspection about their inner journey and performance. As we saw, guys, in the previous episodes, each member needs to go through an inner journey. And this inner journey needs to be something that they go through themselves. It is individual, but we can provide these spaces for them to do it. So when should we do this? It can be before the experience starts, at the beginning, during the building phase, we're going to have one-to-ones with our members. Maybe we can do it then. Then during the experience, assessing the goal progression and action plans, and in the end of experience, assessing the experience and the self-development. So how can we do this self-reflection? First of all, we can have self-assessment tools. Maybe we can give them like personality tests. We can give them, coach them in the different aspects of their life, that they can assess how they're doing in each one of the domains of their life. Maybe they can do journaling through team meetings or entity touchpoints. So, for instance, you can have a team meeting in which you're delivering a lead session, and in the middle of the lead session, you're giving them guiding questions so they can journal and they can reflect about what they're experiencing, what they're learning, what is their current state, etc. Journaling is a very, very powerful tool for self-reflection, and we do not have to neglect it. We can do it in a team meeting. We can do it in entity touch points in a conference. There's moments when we have self-reflection activities. Also, in the individual plan and debrief, you can make your members self-reflect about how they are doing, how they are evolving, and also by the LDA feeling and the PDP. The member, when he is going through the LDA, he's going to be, of course, self-reflecting on what are the leadership qualities that they have, which ones they don't have. Through the results, they can see how they're doing and they can reflect on how they can get better. And also through the PDP, because in the PDP, they can actually choose what is the things that they want to develop and put actions towards them. So this is the self-reflection part. In the team experience, what is it? It's, of course, interaction between a group of people that are working together for a common goal. So you're a team leader, you're going to have your team, and you're all going to be working for the same goal, and you're going to have a whole team experience. So when do we do this? Of course, during the whole team experience, since the moment that the team is consolidated until the moment the team finishes, the term finishes. And how do we do this? So we have several things during the building phase, like team creation, team plan, and then in the closing, the team debrief, that can allow us to create this team experience for them in the best way possible. Having the team working spaces, so these are spaces in which the members of your team are going to be all together, working together. So maybe in these spaces you can also develop some skills with them. You can actually focus on some elements of the LDQ that you can foster through the working spaces and delivering the team standards, of course. What is a learning circle? So the learning circle is a way to organize problem solving and perspective sharing within the team and the entity. So it's just having a moment of discussion within sub-teams. So just having a circle of people commenting on something, on a topic, an issue, a problem that you're facing, so that they can actually share perspectives, share different ways of thinking, of approaching problems, etc. So when do we do this? We can do this during the team meetings and during the entity touch points. So we're engaging people through conversations about issues that you're facing or that issues that the world is facing, and you make them discuss among each other. So this is a very learning space. So how can we do this? We can host spaces for this to happen, especially. We can also have working groups or summits. So we can have in a summit people working together, working on a tool, working on a new process. We can have, like in the working times, putting people together to discuss how we can tackle some issues in the function. We can have moments of feedback, like a circle of feedback, maybe with the team. LC meetings and conferences. It's also very powerful to have during sessions, maybe divide them in groups so that they can discuss and share, and team meetings. For the conferences and seminars, how do we separate what is a conference and what is a seminar, first of all? So the conference is a gathering of people to discuss, incept, and create things for a common purpose. We are working together, educating ourselves, working together, planning, dreaming, all for a common purpose. In seminars, it's actually experts that are sharing their expertise with us, their knowledge with us through workshops. So when we can do this during a local conference or a national conference of the entity, and how it is done through the conferences or external events or trainings. So maybe you can go with your team to an external event and an external seminar if you find out that something interesting is happening in your city. What is a one-to-one? So a one-to-one is a space between the team leader and the member that enhances the personal development. So when do we do this? In the building phase, we're going to do the first one-to-one with our member, and it's going to be about goals and expectation setting and personal development plan. Then in the performance phase, we're going to have one-to-ones each month with our people to assess the goal progression and how they're developing themselves. And in the closing phase, to understand what were the things that they developed and accomplished. How do we do this? We can do this through mentoring, so it's a long-term approach focused on personal development and improvement. We can do this through coaching your members, so it's a space of improvement focusing on the current weaknesses faced, through feedback and lead conversations. And the last one is virtual spaces. This is formal education provided by a digital platform. So when do we do this? During the whole experience, you're going to have different education cycles that we're going to be providing as a national entity, and maybe you can even do it yourself for your members. Do it yourself for your members. So how is it done? Through the ISEC Hub, through webinars, through the national education cycle, and commission calls in the case of some functions. So how do we choose the appropriate global learning environment? We need to assess the impact and the reach to understand which one we want. So we can have a high impact or a low impact, and a high reach or a low reach. So I will give you two examples. The one-to-one is a low reach because it's just one person that you are approaching, but it has a very high impact because it's very efficient to make this person actually develop themselves. Now, the virtual space has a high reach because a lot of people can enter the virtual space, but it's not so engaging with the membership. It's not so open to discussions, so it has a low impact. So some tips and tricks for you to understand which one do you need. So check with your EV for the entity timeline to align the global learning environment spaces for your members. Check in the LC meetings what they're going to do, in the conferences, etc. Set the objective always for the space and an agenda to follow it. If you want to develop one leadership quality, you need to understand, okay, I'm doing it through this global learning environment because it's going to allow me to develop this through this. Cool? So just get a clear idea of what is your objective. And analyze the impact that you need and the reach. As I told you guys just now, analyze which is the impact that you want to have and what is the reach that you want to have. So just in a checklist, a brief checklist, understand the purpose of each one. Create a timeline and learning environment plan for the lead sessions, provide the spaces, and assess the effectiveness. So there's a whole booklet about the global learning environments you can check. I'm leaving you the link here. And that was it, guys. Thank you so much for watching all these episodes. I really hope that it was useful, and I will see you in the next stage.